Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm going to tell you about psychological sciences major here at Purdue. We're on the first floor of Matthews, and this is the Health and Human Sciences undergraduate student services. This is where you'll find your main academic advisors, and this is where you'll meet your advisor and talk about what classes to do. Come over here. About programs that are happening and what you can get involved in, such as study abroad.
Hi, I'm Dom, and we are here at the Purdue School of Management, Craner, which is located across the street from the Purdue Memorial Union. As you can see, there you walk off the elevators and there are advising offices on the left and right side, and there's a TV reminding you about different stuff that's going on here with the department. And if you come over here, there are different study abroad resources that you can look up, different stuff about study abroad, and that's about it.
Hey Dom, how are you?
I'm great, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good. I hear you're undecided.
That I am.
Are you looking into any kind of major?
I am actually. I'm looking into industrial management, which is in the Craner School of Management.
That sounds interesting. I've never heard of that before. Tell me more.
So an industrial management major is a more technical management degree. It's basically a management degree, but the only difference is being that you have to choose a concentration from a variety of different things. So this degree will give you the tools and skills to oversee and communicate with personnel. It will allow you to manage and guide people in service or manufacturing industries. So in this major, you get the skills to manage just like you would in a management degree, plus you get to pick a concentration, like I said earlier, in something that interests you or you're passionate about.
That sounds pretty cool. What kind of classes do you take and what do you learn?
So in this major, you'll learn a little bit about everything. You're going to take mostly math, science, econ, and management courses. So in math, you take 161, 162, 261, and Stat 225, which is Calc 1, Calc 2, Multivariable Calc, and Intro to Stats. In science, you take Chem 115 and 116, which are general chemistry. In econ, you take 251, 252, which is micro, macro, and 419, which is managerial. And lastly, the course you take the most of is management, which makes sense because it's a management degree, basically. And you start at Management 100, which is an introductory management course, and you go all the way up to 451, which is a strategic management. You are also required to take 15 upper division courses based on the concentration that you pick.
Cool. Sounds like a lot of fun. What kind of jobs do you get after you graduate?
So a couple examples of jobs you would get right after you graduate are technology analyst for a financial services firm, consultant for a global consulting and internal audit firm, project engineer for a global chemical company, industrial production manager, operations manager, and compliance officer, just to name a few.
Wow, that's a lot of things. So if I was interested in this, how would I know if I would be a good fit?
So based on the Myers-Briggs inventory that we took earlier this year in EDPS, I think a person with the code ENTJ would best fit a career in industrial management. So the E stands for extroversion, and I think you need to be extroverted because they need to be comfortable and able to communicate with people all the time and feel okay with giving orders and making the hard decisions. N for intuition, because being in charge of a group of people, you need to be able to look at the big picture and see what is best for the future of the company. T stands for thinking, because they should make decisions on what is best for everyone and what makes sense rather than thinking about an individual's feelings, as harsh as it sounds. And lastly, J, because being in charge and having the responsibility to manage a lot of people takes organization and a set plan most of the time.
Cool. Are there any foreign language requirements?
No, there are no foreign language requirements for this major at all.
How many credits of free electives are available?
There are 6 free elective credits, which is not the most amount of those you can get, but it's still some.
Okay, so now that you've got me fully interested, how would I Kodo into this?
So Kodoing in You need 12 credit hours completed at the Purdue West Lafayette campus. You need a minimum overall GPA of a 2.4. You need a C minus or higher in Math 161 or 165 or equivalent. And you need a minimum C minus in any completed MAI classes.
Okay, so what is interesting about your major and why should I choose it?
You should definitely choose this major because the number one reason is there's 100% placement once you graduate from Purdue, which everyone goes to college in order to get a job or career, and I mean 100% is you're basically guaranteed to get a job. You have the opportunity to study abroad, which in my opinion is huge because I really want to do that. I think it's a great opportunity. And lastly, you can have a concentration, which allows you to explore a different area a little bit more thorough than you would with just a minor.
Cool, sign me up.
Hey Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good, Dom, how are you?
I'm good. So what's your major?
I don't actually have a major right now.
Oh, that's okay. That happens. So what are you looking to get into?
I've been looking into psychological sciences in the College of Health and Human Sciences.
That does sound pretty interesting. What does that major consist of?
It's basically a broad overview of the many subfields of psychology, including clinical psychology, which deals with mental illness and behavioral problems, cognitive psychology, which deals with memory, thinking, and reasoning, developmental psychology, which deals with human growth and aging, industrial and organizational psychology, which is how people work together, behavioral neuroscience, which is the biological basis of behavior, social psychology, which is thoughts and behavior in social situations, learning and motivation, and statistics and mathematical models of behavior.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff, but sounds very interesting. So what do you learn in this major?
You learn the basics of all of these subfields, as well as the basics of research and how to conduct your own research. And you take classes such as Intro to Learning, Stereotyping and Prejudice, stuff like drugs and behavior, stuff about violence, memory and motivation, and things like that.
Gotcha. So what type of personality would best fit somebody interested in this major?
Well, in our EDPS class, we took the self-directed search personality type, and most things like clinical psychology and counseling psychology, psychiatry all have codes including I's, S's, A's, and a little bit of E. And these would work if you're an I. It works because you work with data and analysis. And S's, social, would be you're working with others and communicating with them to figure out their problems. And the A would be you'd have to have abstract thinking to as in with like research, and you take those ideas and develop them into something more. And then E's would work because you're working to find the solution.
Gotcha. So based on the plan of study, is there any specific quantitative reasoning classes that are required by the university?
There is a quantitative reasoning requirement, and that is Math 153, which is Algebra and Trig 1 or higher. And you have to have a C minus or better in that class.
Okay. What about any specific science classes that are required from the university core?
You have to take Psych 120, which is elementary psychology, and you also have to have a C minus or better in that. And along with that, you have to take Psych 201, which is Intro to Statistics in Psychology, and you also have to have a C minus or better in that.
Okay. Is there any foreign languages required?
You have to be sufficient in one foreign language up to the 201 level.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a pretty big fan of electives, so how many free elective credits do I get to take if I were to do that?
Good deal. You get to take between 6 and 48 electives.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
So you are undecided right now. What do you have to do to codo into that major?
Well, you have to have a minimum of 12 credits and a GPA of 2.0. You cannot be on academic probation, and you have to have a C minus or better in your math requirement, Psych 120, another psychology course from a list that they give you, and your GPA for Psych 120 and the other psychology class that you take has to be at least a 2.5, and you're only allowed to attempt that class twice.
That doesn't sound too bad. I'm pretty sure you could do that. So thanks for telling us all about psychological sciences, and have a good day. Yeah, so your major sounded pretty interesting, but I'm not a big research guy, and you got to do a lot of that. So.
Well, I'm not really about dealing with people and managing people, and you have to do that.
Yeah, but that's fun. Like, I don't like taking foreign languages, so.
But I only have to take one math class.
True. I mean, I guess we both got to take 120 credits to graduate.
We both have so many career opportunities.
And you get to pick a concentration in either one, so.
The choice
it's
is
up to you.